Oh boy, I've got a pretty good multiplayer battle for you today. This is from the Saturday 4 o'clock Long War, and on the left side we've got Cathay with a classic formation of halberds, second line, crane gunners, crossbows, and the back lines with some grand cannons, as well as Satang the Watcher. Cathay also has a very good lineup of heroes with a level 25 Metal Wizard, Zhao Ming, Gotrek and Felix, and on the side we have got a support of 4 Celestial Lions and 1 Terracotta Sentinel. Now what this means is that Cathay will be defending against Slaanesh. They are going to try to drag the fight as long as possible in order to get as many shots in, and they're going to try, at least, to wrap up the battle using their Celestial Lions. Now on the right corner we have got Slaanesh, and Slaanesh brought some really high tier units for this fight. We've got Fiends of Slaanesh on the front lines, a very powerful melee, monstrous infantry, very large, very beefy, devastating flanker, murderous charge, magical attack, soporific musk, anti-large. These guys are absolutely beefy. Despite looking like horribly mutated crab anteaters, they are as dangerous as they look. We also have cavalry pleasure seekers. Now these bad boys are also anti-large, which is a great idea for the late game because a lot of factions rely on large units in order to push their armies to victory. So having monstrous cavalry with anti-large is a fantastic idea. And of course, we've got the classic Slaanesh hero lineup. Now, this one is a little bit weaker than what Cathay is bringing. We've got Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh. We've got Exalted Keeper of Secrets. We've got some classic Hero Ball snipers with army support abilities. They are really not something we care much about. And I think while they are going to do some damage, they're really not going to be able to carry the fight by themselves. So the battle plan is very clear. Slaanesh is going to play fast and loose, gonna crash into their lines, flank them, and mop up the rest, which is a classic counter to the defensive turtling that the Cathay is doing. You also have got a small, clearly a garrison support, which is just there to be sacrificed. Got the first volleys, which do some very good damage. They've already wiped out 4 models. Crane gunners are firing on those Fiends of Slaanesh. They are doing some fantastic damage, and that is why, if Slaanesh cannot wrap this up quickly, those crane gunners are going to do quick work of their monstrous infantry, and we got the big collision. Both sides take a lot of damage, but most importantly, the Cathay range has been disabled. So the first thing we've got is the Slaanesh heroes focusing on the caster, which is a great idea because they have very low health. Now got the classic hero ball. Cathay drops a final transmutation on the Cathay hero, on the Slaanesh heroes, and does obscene amounts of damage, already taking them out by 50%. We've got the Grand Cannons getting absolutely annihilated by those Pleasure Seekers. We've got full envelopment from Slaanesh, while some impressive Kung Fu is being shown by the Green Guardian. It is simply not enough as all the flanks are falling around him, and Zhao Ming is receiving massive amounts of damage from those Pleasure Seekers as well as their heroes. Celestial Lions are landing to hope to give a little bit of room for Zhao Ming to escape. And so we've got those slower units finally making contact. Cathay's entire infantry line, their range line, have all been wiped out. And now the phase... And now time comes for the phase where Slaanesh needs to focus on wiping out the most dangerous single entities in order to take the least amount of damage. Because in multiplayer battles, it doesn't matter that you win, you need to win efficiently. Ooh, we've got another final transmutation going down. the ranged units have returned, and while they have done a lot of damage, they also receive a lot of damage. Slaanesh is all about attacking, and the moment they themselves get attacked, well, they cannot really take that punishment. They are very much a glass cannon type of roster. And we got those Pleasure Seekers finishing off those Celestial Dragon crossbows. And the Cathay is making their final stand right on Gotrek and Felix, with Zhao Ming just trying to save enough magic to cast another final transmutation. But it looks like even his regeneration is not going to be enough, and now he is getting surrounded. Celestial Lions are coming down to fight anything that is trying to fight Zhao Ming. They're trying to buy him time in order to regenerate. But that is simply not enough. While he's getting healed from Felix, the Slaanesh player knows that Felix must be the one that goes down first, because he's healing all the other characters around him, up to 2. And now the army losses hit to Cathay. This is the main win condition for Slaanesh. Completely overwhelm their forces, trigger a complete rout on the battlefield. But even with that, the Slaanesh player does something very smart that I applaud, especially on campaigns, where he is specifically engaging the units that he can sacrifice and the units with the highest health. This is called troop cycling. And the reason why they do this is because when you go back to the campaign, these units are going to recover their health evenly. So your bottleneck for your army strength is going to be the ones with the lowest health. As long as he does not lose any cards, he will be able to replenish. So by sending in the Keeper of Secrets, despite it being large and Gotrek being one of the best anti-large options in the game, the goal is that Keeper of Secrets can take some damage as much as this Keeper of Secrets, because they will all heal together. Even if that Keeper of Secrets leaves with maximum health, it is not going to be relevant, because clearly they need to replenish anyway. And so knowing that having that foresight is giving Slaanesh the logistical advantage in the continuation of this war. But as you can see, slowly but surely, Gotrek is going down. He is exchanging some blows with that Keeper of Secrets. It went from about 90% to about 30% health. And Gotrek continues to fight, continues to trade upwards, but this battle is pretty much over. So let's speed things up and take a look at our final statistics. So, as expected, Zhao Ming has lost pretty much their entire army, but Slaanesh also has taken some decent damage. We can see one Keeper of Secrets completely eliminated, Pleasure Seekers wiped out. So Slaanesh, this was a very efficient victory. There were a couple of losses, which means they need to be careful, but this is pretty normal for Slaanesh because their units are glass cannons. This was a fantastic battle. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.